There's a patient down in Florida who has disseminated cancer, I think prostate cancer, and he ran his genetics, and sure enough he had a wide number of genetic errors that would lead to his DNA becoming unstable. So there's a paper we have in our presentation where we talk about insufficient methylation being a cause of cancer. And so sure enough, here's a person, disseminated cancer, you look at his genetics and there it is. It's like the elephant in the room.
You're basically saying that you can tell by someone's genetics that they may or may not develop cancer.
I'm saying that if this fellow saw us at the age of 50, because he had his cancer happen at the age of 57, if we caught him at the age of 50, fixed his methylation errors, my opinion is that he would not have developed cancer. And when you hear stories about people who fight cancer by changing their diet and changing their way of life and all of that, you hear these miraculous stories, you don't know what to do with them. You think, well, that doesn't make any sense, how could that be? People don't get it as to how that possibly could happen. We're providing the basic science behind why a lot of these books that talk about fight cancer by changing your diet, fight cancer by going into eating vegetarian foods, fight cancer this way, that way.
Yeah, the Gerson therapy.
Yeah, all of those ideas don't have a scientific basis behind them. And what Dr. Baki and I are doing is we're providing the scientific basis, and it's right rooted.
Yeah, but how can you say that juicing and supercharging the body with fruits and vegetables is not scientific? That's basically what you just said.
I sure did. It's not known to be scientific. They simply say, those people who say, try this, try that, eat these good foods, and we'll help you fight cancer. They don't say why it does scientifically. They might say, well, we did a study and we found that if people ate better, they had less cancer. That's all they say. Well, they had less cancer. I'm not sure why they had less cancer, but they had less cancer.
Cancer cannot survive in an acidic state.
I don't buy that at all. I think it's simply the biochemical errors that exist because of genetic errors are the problem. I think that acidity, alkalinity thing is junk science, quite frankly. It is absolutely junk science. You can't tell me something as simple as pH balance is going to cure my cancer. But the foods you eat, which are going to support and counterbalance your genetic errors, that's science. And that's what we talk about on our webinar. We talk about the basic science, the reason why those people might be right, okay? But don't tell me it's about acidity and alkalinity. That strikes me as voodoo nonsense.
But you do agree that
no, it's the
vegetables will help.
Yeah, well, that is the truth. That is true. That certain foods can counterbalance your genetic errors. So if you eat the right foods that compensate for your genetic errors, then you have a fighting chance against diseases like cancer. And that's why the food people who talk about foods are not wrong, but they still don't know why what they say has merit. And when you look at genetics, you find the why. You find the answers. A perfect example is Dr. Lister. Dr. Lister was a surgeon. He figured out that if he sterilized his instruments, his patients did not die of infection. Did he know infection? No. Did he know what the germs were exactly? No. He just made an observation. He said, if I sterilize my instruments, people don't die of infection when I operate on them. Okay, that's what the food people are saying. They're saying, I don't know how, but if I eat good food, somehow I don't get sick. And then later on in life, other scientists found the germs, found the bacteria, found all the problems, found the antibiotics. And that's what we're doing with genetics. We have found the reasoning behind why eating smart, etc., has value. And then when you know why, then you can do even better with your therapies. That's where we tell you exactly what foods to eat, exactly where your deficiencies are, and exactly correct it scientifically.
Who knew that kale could be toxic to the body if your body is not able to process sulfur?
Exactly right. So kale, everyone's saying, is a good food. Eat it, eat it, eat it. And then people with genetic errors eat it, they get sick, and they don't know why, and everybody's confused. So that's what I'm saying. You look at the genetics. The genetics are a gift that just never stops giving.
So this patient in Florida who has prostate cancer all over, what did you find? I mean, what did you say about that again?
Yeah, he had genetic errors that would account for why he may have developed cancer, and we're going to treat him. We're going to see what happens. He's in bad shape. He's got cancer all over his body. I'm hoping that we can make a difference for him, and stay tuned.
So he actually went on the website and registered, and he found out about us, or did Dr. Baki know about him?
No, he's part of our program. He ran his genetics. We're about to start him on a program.
Did he just do the 23andMe, or did he do the methylation?
He did 2 out of the 3 tests. We want to do 1 more test for him.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is exactly right. That's exactly the point. It's like, wow. This is wow. It's everywhere you look. When somebody is sick, you find a whole slew of genetic errors. Have illness, have genetic errors. It's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer.